Welcome to Ongoing Volume Episode 11. I am one of your hosts, Digital, with my co-host.
Blade.
Oh, just a basic one.
Yeah,
just a basic one today. All right.
I couldn't think of a good one. I was just like, I need to just go
On the
online and
spot.
just find all the awesome uh intros that we
Different
get.
intros.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
did put a whole lot of time into thinking about it this time.
Yeah. Well, it's been pretty chaotic. If anyone is watching on video, I don't think I mentioned it at all in last week's episode, so I am sorry if you were confused. I am packing and moving. I will keep folks updated as that goes. So mind the mess. It'll look better hopefully over the weeks. So anyway, yeah. Quick high level of what we're gonna get into. Blade has some anime news for us, which is always super fun to go through to keep up with the latest that's going on. And then we pretty much blitz through Chainsaw Man, and we are like officially caught up to the rest of the world. It is
And by
done. So
that, done.
we
Yep.
will yeah, we will get into that. That will pretty much be what we go over, and we will get you kind of caught up of like where we left off in the latest recording to like the end. And like I said, we will be going brainstorming and throwing our questions and our thoughts just
Spoilers
like the
warnings
rest of
if
the
you
world.
haven't read the manga yet.
Yep, yeah, put this in watch later and come back when you are. Yeah. All right. Take it away, Blade.
All right, in news, we have Webtoon announces plans to introduce AI-powered localization tunes. So this is something
What does that mean?
yeah, this is what I had to read the actual thing to actually get that. That was actually the title. But the actual idea of it is that it has a AI powered translation that'll give you the power to actually translate your webtoon into almost every single other language out there. And
Oh,
honestly, I think that's pretty
interesting.
good. It could also help with people when it comes to revenues because it could also do that for different ads and everything else out there. From what I
Mhm.
understand, it's just a way to help translate and get the tune out to more people out there.
Yeah. That's sick.
And that so I was been thinking about this a lot lately. Since I am looking for a job, I am in the um I'm in the programming world, so of course I had to worry about AI. Um, my job was one of the ones I was after, and it ended up being a complete mess for anybody who actually went into the programming AI space. Um, and I always am looking at what is a good use of AI and what's a bad use of AI. And this I consider a good use of it. It actually would be very beneficial for people to have that.
Mhm.
Anyways,
Sweet.
next thing we got the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle film. The box office earnings for it actually reached over 40 billion yen over in Japan.
Ooh.
Yeah, no
Do we
kidding.
know what that translates to for my
Uh,
brain?
roughly, I think it's about 400 million, give or take.
Okay. Let's see. You said 400 billion
Yep.
yen. Oh, let's see. Keep going. I'll get it.
Yeah. I yeah. So next thing we got a lot of interesting add-on news. I would suggest people go out and see if they're interested in anime, or an anime that's coming out soon. But I didn't think about adding all those because there's a lot of it. But we got Reincarnated as a Sword. Season 2 is now revealed to be uh, debuting in October. We have from Overshadowed to Overpowered. We got a trailer for that, actually. I think I sent that one to you, one of the ones I
Mhm.
sent to you.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I am worried that it's going to end up being in the overpowered category, whereas just one person, eh, like solo leveling.
Yeah.
I think we've had a
Yeah.
lot of chat about that. It's kind of a trope right now, and it's just one of those
It
question marks of
is.
if it's actually good or if we're just getting into
If you can
this
keep it
power
interesting
fantasy.
and the side characters you introduce like are adding value to it, like I'm okay with it, but it
Yeah,
does get kind of repetitive when you're just
you're
waiting
just
for one
wondering where
character.
that one character's gonna pop in to end it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Um, I got a cheat skill in another world is getting a second season. Inherited the so this is another one that I said to you. Inherited the Winds original TV anime reveals promo video, which was actually really good. I actually really like the art style in it. Um,
Yeah,
and
it's a little
that's
unique. I liked it. It was unique.
yeah, and that's gonna be premiering on January of 2027, so next year, early next year.
Got some time.
Yeah, but seeing the art style, I actually think it'd be worth the wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got the Banashi again. I'm doing a lot of Japanese words here. Forgive my speak. I'm American, and I am very bad at actually pronunciation of Japanese stuff. I am so
Hey, it's better you
sorry.
than me because I would just you listen to me sound it out.
Yeah. Um, so Banashi anime is to stream worldwide on Netflix on April 4th.
Ooh.
It looked interesting. We have interest in it, and we got three new the weekly Jump magazine that's in Japan. We got
Mm-hmm.
three new mangas in there announced. Um, First one being this is gonna be my really bad Japanese. I'm so sorry. Roku no Okashin Kashina La, which apparently translates to Roku's Strange House. Supposed to be a horror comedy. Um, Looks I don't know. I only got one image on each of these, so I would wait and see until it comes out before I get my yeah. This is actually good or not, but it
Yeah,
horror comedy kind of is interesting to me, so I do
that
want
is
to
an
see
interesting
it.
combination.
Yep. We got the Nashu to Mushikagu, which it's translated to Summer in the Insect Cage, apparently. It's a basketball anime, basketball manga. Um,
Hmm.
and like I said, I've only got one image on each of them, so can't really say a whole lot. Then we got the Nidian, Bigumi, Yosha Destroyers. This Class 2B Hero Destroyers. The fantasy comedy. So those are three new ones. I'm excited to
Do you
start
like your
reading them.
fantasy?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do like my fantasy, so I can't deny that.
yeah.
It's that's gonna be one of the ones. The basketball, I'm not usually into a lot of sports anime, so that the basketball one, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or not. Um, and the horror comedy, like I said, it's an interesting concept. I have seen horror comedies out there. I've seen them done great. I've seen them done poorly. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. Um,
Okay.
we got the Sergeant Frog. I actually have a typo on my list. Sergeant Frog feature film is to be released on June 26th. Have you ever seen any of the Sergeant Frog series?
No.
It is a comedy, and it is actually really good. At least from what I've seen of it. I think I've seen season one and season two.
He's
Like
cute.
yeah, it is a really cute series about a bunch of alien frogs who come to Earth, end up living with different humans, and going through all shenanigans because of it.
Okay. Nice.
You got the Let's Go Kakagumi anime announced to be released on July 5th.
Sweet.
Then you got You and I Are Polar Opposites season 3. It has been announced. I have not seen that one at all, and I was kind of looking at it, I'm like, probably not myself, but I'll probably give it a chance. Watch it. Why not?
Give it a fair shake.
Yeah, give it a fair shake. Why not?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We got a few games actually, a couple games here. We got the Made in Abyss now has a roguelike RPG mobile game, which makes me kind of not want to play it because it's a mobile game and it's roguelike, which means there's going to be a bunch of in-app purchases that's going to make it insanely bad.
I I only got into roguelikes within like the past year. And I have found a lot of the roguelikes that I also found were on mobile were games that I already liked anyway, like Brotato or Vampire Survivor. Um I'm sure there's a third one I'm not thinking of. But like I don't know. maybe I'm not experienced enough to have, a deep opinion on that, but, like, just on those 2 examples, like, I
So
could see them being.
the roguelike, I don't have a problem with. It's
Yeah,
more the
yeah,
fact that it's a mobile game, and mobile games are
sure.
notorious to have a bunch of in-app purchases.
Yes. Well, they gotta make some money.
And they make you play. So the reason why I don't play a lot of mobile games is because of this. Is because they kind of expect you to pay to keep on playing the game. A
Yep,
game that I'm just like, I don't want to. I'll be willing to pay like a one-time upfront purchase. I don't want to keep
yep.
on paying things because that's a subscription. That's even worse than a subscription.
Right. I'd rather just straight up buy a game, than yeah,
I really
like,
wish a lot
over
of these
time.
free to play had a paid version because I'd be
Yeah,
willing to pay to get it.
yep. They gotta get yeah, I think the whole strategy is, right, get you in the door kinda thing,
It
because it's
is.
easier with free, yeah.
Like I said, I love Beta and Abyss, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing this.
Yeah.
We got Solo Leveling Karma is a new roguelike action RPG gonna be coming out. It did not say mobile, so I have some hope.
Okay.
We'll see.
Sweet. It's got some soul leveling games. I know they came out with another one, over Overdrive, over I will literally it's on my wish list. Uh anyway, I thought I've heard it was okay. Anyway, I'm mostly saying they're coming up Overdrive. Arise Overdrive. There you
Okay, I
go.
think I've seen stuff on that on Steam or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard folks have liked it. So anyway, I'm only mentioning that because it sounds like Soul Leveling's been coming out with games, which is awesome.
Yeah, of course they're gonna have games. It's a big anime right now.
Yeah, get us some games. I'm a gamer.
Honestly, I think that would be an interesting MMORPG where you actually create the character and pick your abilities and everything.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully, you're not just Sung Jinwoo and it's
Oh no,
you
no, no,
have
no!
to
You
do this.
cannot. I would
Yeah.
not allow Jinru to be in there. He's too OP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my
Arise.
last news that I found interesting was for Oran High School Host Club. Have you ever seen that anime?
Nope.
So they are celebrating 20 years since
Shit.
it's been made, and
20 years.
yeah, that's one of the animes that I remember watching a long time ago. So.
They're in retro category then.
Yeah, it's actually one of my suggested animes for people to get into, especially if they're into like rom coms. That it's
Okay.
an amazing romantic comedy. It's about a club that is in a high school that is full of rich people with too much time and money on their hands, and this club is really made just to give people a place where they can spend their money and have a good time. Pretty much having these guys pamper to the girls.
Okay.
And the main
Interesting.
character of the series ends up accidentally going into there because it's a girl who looks a lot like a guy. Kind of one of those things. Apparently, when she
Okay.
first got in, some kid put gum in her hair, so she has super short hair. And she ended up not having money to buy school uniforms, so she just goes in jeans and a t-shirt. She's a poor student. She's like a poor student in the school, but got in based on academics. So she's super
Interesting.
smart.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks that she's a guy, and she never corrects them.
Okay.
But she
Huh.
goes in
All right.
this club room, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't know you were into this type of stuff," because she didn't know that this was an actual club, and
Yeah.
accidentally breaks one of the vases, and ends up having to pretty much work for them to pay back the
To pay it
vase.
off.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
expensive vase, of course.
Yeah.
Um, and slowly throughout the first episode, they find out all the people in the host club find out that he's a she, but they have her be a host, and it ends up in some
Okay.
hilarious stuff that happens between them trying to keep her a secret to keep on having her as a host and have a reason to stick around and yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
romantic
Okay.
comedy shenanigans happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But they are. I got into the story of it, and I didn't even mention what it was. So they actually have a collab with Sturdy Hands, and it's a company that does clothes. So if you guys are interested, go and check it out. I looked at the clothes, not really my style, but I can see a lot of people liking it. I would give it a shot. Take a look.
Sweet.
That's all I have for news. Back to you, Digital T.
So, Chainsaw Man. So, to catch everyone up that has been here for the first time, has missed an episode, we were doing reviews volume by volume on Chainsaw Man. And then Blade and I decided that's too slow. We started too late. Maybe that works with something that is like coming out like right now, and we're with the rest of the world, right? So we blitzed through it and we went through like we had a little bit of part 1 left and then we had part 2 and then literally the week we decided this was the like last manga. So it kind of like timed out pretty well
Yeah, the
to be like,
last
"Oh,
chapter
we're like
was.
truly caught up. It's done, right?"
Yeah,
So
we're
we
not
have
getting more
not
episodes of
talked
Chainsaw Man.
we yeah, at least on the manga, right? I'm pretty sure they have a lot more they need to animate if they're going to do that.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah, I haven't watched any of it, so keep that with a grain of salt. I've just strictly read it. So we have not talked since blitzing through it. We just kind of like tagged, "Hey, are you done with, ready for this episode?" No. Okay, let's tag back up, right? So, here we are. Fresh off finishing Chainsaw Man. Um
Oh boy, what a trip.
let's start with part 1. Let's start with part 1. So we left off with the rest of you folks very near the end of part 1. And I will say I love part 1. Just the whole ride of part 1. I love part 1. Uh I don't know. If I was to go and say like how would I compare it to other series or arcs in general, I think I would say it's up there. It's probably like an 8 or 9 for me.
Yeah, part
Uh
one was really well done. I didn't care for part two as much, but
no, I think we should talk about that too cuz I felt
uh,
the same.
especially the end of part one was actually a very fitting ending, and I thought it was heartfelt and really nice because Denji started getting kind of his own family and somebody
Yeah.
to actually be with because he lost his old family. Aki and Power both died, which was really sad, and that got him
Yep.
into his black chainsaw form, which I didn't know that was supposed to be black.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize I should have been reading the colored version to help
Yeah,
express
that's
that a
kind
little
of one
bit
of the
better.
scenes where I kind of wish they had a colored color screen when it first popped up. Go just like, oh, that's just Denji in a more beast out form. It's like, no, that's actually a different chainsaw man. Well, kind of.
Y-
That's
Well,
actually
so are you
Pachita.
talking about the two? Yeah, so they're part 2. I'm getting ahead.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
going into a bit of
Yeah.
part two when they reveal
Yeah,
this. But
sorry.
part one is where they reveal the black chainsaw man. And like I said, when I
Yes.
first read it, I'm just like, I did not know that that was supposed to be black versus red.
Right. And it's Pachita. It's not so much Denji anymore. It's kind of like I don't know, like autopilot, I guess you would say, right? It's not even he's piloting the ship anymore.
No, it's more
Uh
of Pachita's taking over to help him out, and he's got a bit of time. At this point, I think Pachita's pretty much overcome whatever ailment he had at the time.
and he is brutal.
Oh yeah,
He is relentless. He's exactly what you would envision of a chainsaw devil without a Denji or some human factor. It's just like he's just a chainsaw slaying machine. Like it's I mean, when there's a part where Makima is talking with Kishibe and she's by a window and she's like they have a small conversation and then she's pretty much like, "Oh, he's on his way. I'm going to die." Right? And then next panel like she's in a million pieces and here comes Vegeta through the window just slaying Makima. But I don't know. I don't know how we want to kind of go about the ending of part 1 since we've already gone through everything else leading up to it. But
I
I
think.
mean,
I mean, we don't have to go through the whole story. I think
no, I
talking
don't think
about
so.
there is a lot of aspects that happened in part one that is really important in part two.
Yeah.
So one of the things we find out in part one is that the Chainsaw Man, whoever the Chainsaw Man eats, disappears for some reason, or gets heavily
Yeah, he
nerfed or
gets
something like
rid of
that.
their what
So
was the term?
a war was eaten, and
Yep.
nuclear bombs, I believe, were both the ones that were confirmed eaten by him. Um,
Yeah, he gets rid of like the concept of them.
yeah, so nobody in this world knows about war or nuclear weapons.
Yep.
It's very interesting to think about.
Yeah, which I don't this isn't really so this Makima knows about this.
Yeah,
And
I
that
think devils
and
know. Well, no, because war doesn't know.
but Makima definitely knows about it, and that's why she's so interested when she meets Denji. It's funny, like if you go back and read what they first meet, like how quickly she's interested in Denji
Yeah,
because he's
she
got
definitely
chainsaw.
knows. It might be because she's one of the more powerful devils out there that she knows. I'm not sure. There's a lot of question marks I still have about Denji's ability to eat, and the fact that it doesn't completely get rid of it, just gets rid of it at that moment, type of thing, is really weird.
Yeah, yeah, and I would imagine with Makima being such a big brain that like with her control power, she probably knows so much more than we ever get to see because she could she doesn't even have to like interrogate. She just asks people like, "Hey, you're a demon of this place." If she's able to control them, she can find out anything that they know. Obviously make them do whatever, but like as far as gathering intel, she can know so much and then start doing some, process of elimination on different things because she's super intelligent, right? So like whatever she doesn't know, she can probably piece together a lot better, than just about anyone.
Yeah, it helps that she's also super old. She is a devil, so doesn't
Yeah.
age.
Yep.
As long as the concept is there, she exists. Which brings us kind of to the end of it, which is when Digi and Makima do fight. Well, Chainsaw Man and Makima really is most of the
Yep.
fight. Till the end when Makima gets defeated and Denji gets kind of forced to eat. I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting. They kind of hinted at it, but then it's kind of confirmed at the end.
Yeah. And how he's able to actually inflict damage to her, like sustaining damage, not because she has her whole shtick of how she keeps surviving all of these crazy things is pretty much she has contracts with anyone and everyone that pretty much
He kind
will
of
absorb whatever damage she's gonna take and then bring her back. And people across the globe are pretty much dying on her behalf. And so at that point, you think she's untouchable, right? Or is Denji or Chainsaw gonna go through and just slaughter her however many times, tens of thousands or millions, whatever the number was, right? It was something crazy high. And if it's Pachita, like you can tell that they'll do it.
yeah, they
They'll
will.
just kill Makima for months.
Denji's another
Um,
story though.
yeah, and so then I will admit I started going and trying to brainstorm like how could Denji actually do that damage, and I I'm pretty sure it has to do with contracts that Makima has and the phrasing that she has of like if there's like some hostility towards her, then she'll take whatever damage and it'll go towards that contract. But if she were to go take damage from somebody that's not hostile, that she can be damaged for real. Because Denji didn't come at her with hostility when he's the one that finally defeated her for good. And then yeah, he consumed her. Anyway, I think that was like the main way he was able to bypass her just unbelievable amount of lives is how I'll phrase it. Uh yeah, and I mean, it was pretty wild, like, how strong Chainsaw Man, and I'm saying this in general with Pochito or Denji driving, because Makima had an army of devils. They just kept going at him over and over, and Makima herself ain't no slouch. Like, even if you take away her controllability, she's got so much in her
She
kit
is
to just
very
go.
smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh yeah, I it was very exciting, but it was high throttle for me the whole time of like, what is there's so much going on. And Makima is the ultimate like payoff, in part one, I was fangirling over Makima's a big question mark. I want to know more about her, this and that. And then we learned she's super evil
Hmm.
and she's a control devil. And
Well, we
then
learn a bit
she's
more why the way she is in part two, but yeah, Denji eats her, but she comes back, just not as um Makima. Instead, she's Nayuta or something like that.
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a new
Let me see.
person that comes up at the end. It's pretty much a child version of Makima.
Nayuda. Yep.
Nayuta, I'm right. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So Denji takes in Nayuta and all the dogs that she has.
Yep. And so part one ends. I like the way it ends, but then to start back up in part two is
And
very
part two kind of
interesting.
had a questionable beginning to me because it didn't show
Yes.
Denji at all. We started getting
No.
these rumors of like, oh, Chainsaw Devil's in this high school, and it's going through a different person altogether, a girl, kind of outcast in her school, and they're
Yeah.
they're trying they have this chicken whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
It was
idea
very odd.
it was a very odd beginning. It's kind of one of those things of what, and they're like, "Oh, you need to take care of this devil for a certain amount of time. Then, if after that time, we'll kill him and have it be food." And what? And
Yeah. It
then
was a total change of pace. It was a total 180 of like start over
we
kind of
kind of had
thing,
this weird. Oh, Baka was fine. Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, like
What?
just straight tank. Like,
Like,
and
what
then
does this
yeah,
have to do with the story? It turns out it does have something to do with the story, but it has like a slow
yes.
startup to it.
Yes.
Because
It's
what?
kinda like reintroducing the world again, except we have an expectation, and now it's kinda like, "Okay, like, when are we gonna make those meet?" You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know. We don't have to go through like we normally do with the reviews and, like, explain to everyone what's going on because now we're caught
Yeah.
up, but I
But that was kind of
I
my
like
point at the beginning is that it kind of had a slow start, and that's kind of one of the things that made me
yes.
stop for a bit there. Then you finish it, you're like, okay, I guess I should actually finish it. And I got to that
Yeah,
point, I'm
it
just thinking this is kind of boring.
Yeah, and it's a common thing where a series of whether it's a show or a game, and they like continue on from what you know and love it for, like a main character, for example. It's really hard to like successfully make that transition in my opinion, because we've been all about Denji and pretty much Makima as the two characters are very that are very interesting by design, right? And then you go to part two, where you have Asa, Mitaka, and then she's an outcast, just like in a different way, just like Denji is an outcast, and then she's not set up for any sort of successful story, like for her to just be a normal kid, right? Somebody gets jealous, they want her dead, they go and make a deal with the justice devil,
There's a lot of
air
people making
quotes.
deals with the Justice Devil, and it's very interesting. But like, yeah, quote Justice
Yeah,
Devil, we end up fighting it's not.
yeah, yeah. And so like, okay, she's put in this situation kind of like Denji was put in a very like no-win situation, forced to go make a devil deal, right?
Yeah, and she makes it. So what I find interesting is the form that we meet War in, but she makes a deal with
Yeah.
the War Devil.
Yep.
So the War Devil, like I said, was one of the ones that was eaten by Denji and is heavily nerfed compared to what she used to be.
Mhm.
Um, but
She's
we
like an
find her
owl.
in Owl. I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting. So she says
Yeah, I didn't see the
there's some similarities between war and owls. It's not quite as
okay.
much as some of the other animals. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I maybe I missed any connection between it. I didn't see even now, like, what an owl and war would, like,
So
have between them.
I tend to think of the pantheon. Owls tend to be part of Athena's bag, which Athena, although is
Oh,
not the god of war, she still has a she's strategy. She is wisdom, and she tends
yep.
to have a lot of fights with the god of war. So
Yeah.
that's how I'm thinking of it. It's some similarity between for that.
It's on the Greek mythology side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and so that was I thought that was interesting. So that relationship was totally different than Denji with Pachita, where he just kind of let Denji do whatever he wanted until he needed help. And then War, who goes by Yoru, uh, she she is crazy. She is
So she is
batshit crazy.
obsessed with killing Chainsaw Man.
Yes. Yeah, and she doesn't know anything so much that she wants to keep Asa alive to go be a student to help her go find Chainsaw. Doesn't have any sort of plan, which is I found interesting, other than just like they found her. I don't know. I found it odd that they didn't really know anything on how they were going to find Chainsaw. Like they just kind of like were tripping their way through it the whole time,
Yeah.
until they found Asa.
Chainsaw actually full on admitted that he was Chainsaw Man to them, and they didn't believe him.
Yeah, yeah,
I
literally
got such a
just
laugh out of
bypassed
that.
all of the problem. Yeah,
No way he
and
could
then
be
the guy
Chainsaw
that
Man. No way
did,
he would have meant to be Chainsaw Man.
and then a guy that said he is, who isn't. They're like, oh, that's him.
Yeah. Just
It's
because the
like,
guy like pulled up
wow.
his shirt. Apparently, he had a little whip cord implanted into him, which apparently
Yeah,
that was a common thing that people were doing. I thought that was
yeah,
insane.
that was wild. Yeah, the fandom, I
Chainsaw
don't even
Man
know if
got
the
out of
dedication.
control. One thing that I
Yeah.
forgot to mention from before is that Chainsaw Man actually was losing power because people weren't fearing Chainsaw Man; they were worshiping pretty much him.
Yes.
There's so much of a fandom behind it. Uh,
Yeah. So what I guess what's like the next thing that you it sounds like we're both in agreement. Part two, in comparison to part one, we both agree part one was the better.
oh
I don't
yeah.
know, part arc, whatever you want to call it. Uh, part two, what I guess would be like some like we could keep walking through it, or we could just go like, what are the big hitters for you? Like the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, what are you
So
thinking?
another thing that kind of a problem with part two would be that Genji just gets constantly screwed over. Like he doesn't. There's no way he could have a normal life at this point. It's ridiculous. And
No,
that's kind of his goal. Is like I want to have a normal life. I want to have. Actually, his big thing is that he wants to have intercourse.
he wants to be with a lot of women.
Yep.
And yeah,
So he
I
made.
my go ahead.
Yeah,
I'll
his
let
thing
you.
is that he's trying to get himself revealed to be Chainsaw Man, just so he can get the girls that are part of his fan club.
I I felt like that took away from everything that Denji did in part 1.
It did, yes.
All of the like the and you see this in so many shonen
It's like he
shows,
went
right? Like
back.
yeah,
He didn't
totally
grow. He went
reverted.
back to what he was talking about before, and just like, no, you should have grown. You should be thinking more ahead. He is in school, which is good, but
And then they did have a couple little nods to that with Nayuta, and he's pretty much making cheap money from people to go support her. He's like the big brother, I guess, right?
mhm.
And there's that, right? So as you some of that gets uncovered, it gets more, towards that. We're like, oh, good, he's growing a little bit with all the crap that he dealt with, and he still kind of wants to be a superhero to go protect people. And he didn't ever really like. I don't think he ever is like, I want to protect people, right? It just kind of happens to be that way. However, I don't need Denji to be like, I need to protect people kind of thing.
He really doesn't want to protect people, if you ask me. But
Yeah, but I
like, there's a scene early on where this devil has a car and a person, and it's like, oh, we choose a 5 or the 1 to save. And he chooses neither. He kills the devil
yeah,
and gets the cat. Like,
yes.
well, you didn't. You missed the cat. It's just like, really?
Yeah, and I guess, that adds to like they want Denji to be unique compared to like, what you would typically expect of like this type of growth from this type of character. But I don't know. Maybe it's a too common of a trope and you're trying to be unique in that way with your character of Denji. But like when you've gone through so much crap and Deji is able to get to like he doesn't have Makima over his shoulder anymore. He's got Nayuta who he loves as it looks like a younger sister, right? And cares for her. Their relationship is hilarious. I genuinely thought that was funny when they interact. But like everything else of I would just want to go have sex with a bunch of women or I need everyone to know who I am. Like it was weird to me that whole thing is like all he's caring about. That's it. Like he's never like, I don't want to be Chainsaw Man and I want to get rid of all the devils and figure out who's the source, so I can get rid of this because I'm over this. I want a normal life. Like there's none of that. He just wants to just kill devils forever so he could go get with women.
I
And
also the talking about something else that's happening with Denji is that he's constantly being watched by the Special Defense Force. And I
yeah.
don't understand the Special Defense Force's plan at all. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I agree. The only headcanon I could come up with is that Kishibe was keeping them at bay because he not once arrives in part two, which also annoyed me. Of
Mm-hmm.
how he is supposed to be, quote unquote, the strongest devil hunter. We saw that note a couple times. And he's I don't remember what he says at the end of part one, but pretty much he hands Nayuta over to Denji and then, he's gone, right? And I like I would like to think that Kishibe was doing stuff behind the scenes to help protect them even further from these different divisions. But there's nothing that explains that. It's all
Oh,
headcanon, right? So it's like, okay, Kishibe's just gone. And then if you go through the whole part two, the whole time you could be like, huh, I wonder if Denji's gonna get some sort of mentorship or leadership from somebody to like, hey, Denji, like if you think about it this way, this might help you, No, none of they're like everyone is
they may
gone.
just try to use Chainsaw Man at this point, and it just becomes
Yeah.
a okay. What do you want from him this time? What's going on
Oh
this
my
with this group?
god.
What are
Yeah.
they after? And we find out that the major issue that they're trying to prevent this time is the Death Devil. Apparently, they were
Yeah,
about
it's like
to
a prophecy.
activate. Yeah, there's a prophecy that apparently every so often the Death Devil loses control of their powers and end up pretty much killing a ton of people. Apparently,
Yeah.
that's going to happen soon. So it's like, oh, we need to stop that from happening, and the best way to do it is to have Chainsaw Man eat them. So it's
yeah. Uh, yes, I'm so happy we're going through this together right here.
yeah.
I hated the entire special division thing the entire time. The only thing that I agreed on, and I was trying to find his name. I knew it, and then I don't know it. The guy, the main guy, the octopus, you know, uh,
Yeah, that guy.
member. I
The only
forget
one
his
that
name
keeps
every
on
time.
appearing in season 2.
Yeah, so I liked his goal of like trying to conceal his identity. I didn't like how he was never able to convince Denji of the importance of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then not even just him. And so much so that they were gonna go use him and they weren't there was no partnership. everything with that division, the concept of it just goes out the window, which ironically, it goes out the window with Makima being gone. Like how messed up is your entire org when the antagonist, the control demon, is the reason it worked?
Mm-hmm.
How horrible is your entire structure when the main bad guy is the reason it functioned? That makes zero sense.
So we got multiple organizations here. We got the Special Defense Force.
Yes.
We end up getting what's called the Chainsaw Man Church, which Denji
Yes.
is not a part of, by the way.
They're like a cult for him. Yeah.
Yep, you got Denji, and you got War, and
Yep.
Famine / the Death Devil. We got all
Yep.
these groups, and all of them are trying to get Denji to do like one thing or another, and just like, oh, you, it's your choice. You can't have this. If you do this, it will have this outcome. If you have this, you have this. Let the guy live.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Everyone's goal was Chainsaw Man the whole time. And I don't want to skip to the end, but like it doesn't even like pay off well in any way. There wasn't like any one decision that was like Denji's gonna find the right decision out of all of those and it's gonna pay off. Like, no, like not
None
once.
of
And I
this
feel
pays
like with
off.
everything you just listed, where you go put them at bullet points and be like, okay, yeah, I gotta pick A or B or C, and he didn't like write D and pick that, and then like it fixed the majority of things, like I, I was, I don't know. I was so underwhelmed on the decisions that they were forcing Denji to go through, and overwhelmed with just the amount of stuff just thrown in there. Of like,
They're putting all this weight on one guy. It's like, oh, seriously, guys, we really can't think of a better solution than this. You guys have had
yeah,
decades to figure this out.
yeah. I would have loved in part one if they like mentioned that one time. And then Makima, this would further solidify Makima like needing to be the key for part two to work. Is if Makima had mentioned some line of, "Oh, I have a plan for that." And then if Denji kills her, then this is the outcome of that because Makima has a plan for it and we will never hear it. Right? At least you
We
could
don't even
go,
hear it until the second season.
yeah,
No,
that's my point.
there's no
Like,
even hint to it.
yeah.
Just all of a sudden,
I
oh
feel
yeah,
like
we actually had all these people go to the future devil and pay X amount to actually have their date of death, and now there's like 70% of these guys were all had the same date.
I thought that was a creative way
That's a
to
creative
kind
way
of
to figure it
pinpoint it.
out.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty creative. I like I don't know. I think Makima and Denji are the best thing in all of Chainsaw Man. And I honestly think so like part 2 I do not like really at all. If I would have loved that if they had if Makima had put some little note, or if they in part 2 uncover in Makima's diary or whatever they would find, right? That she like had thoughts of an idea on how to prevent it, that they have to go and figure out how to bring her back. And then you're like, "Oh my god, that dynamic would be crazy that Makima has to or Denji has to work with Makima and not just one outright killer." Like that's the stuff that is super hard to watch. Like you have a Lex Luthor and a Superman working together and they hate each other's guts, right? And you're just waiting for Lex to betray him. Like I feel like that would be like, well, they can't figure it out. Makima had so many ears, she had so much intel. Like,
Yeah, that would have been interesting to have Nayuda and Denji try to uncover the old Makima's path and try to figure it out from there. That would have been an interesting section to it.
yeah,
Instead,
that
we
would have been
got
like a whole mystery of like, oh, okay, this to this, and then they're literally chasing worlds, maybe not worlds, but like
no. They'd probably
world
go to. They
building.
probably would have to go to the Devil's World for it.
Yeah, go to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But you
I was not a fan of
they
the
only go to
whole.
hell once more, and it's kind of just a blink and you miss it area. I
Yes.
kind of wish they played a bit more with it and a bit more with all the with a lot of other things that were kind of shown in the different in season one in part one.
Yeah, I felt like so when Asa and Denji become friends over, I'll say that with air quotes because they're never really like big friends until like the very end. And then Asa does some, girl shenanigans to go get on Denji's good side, right? And or Yoru does specifically. Like she goes and kisses him when Asa doesn't want to, or something like that. So like leading into like, oh, I'm a girl. Denji is weak to girls in this case. Like, building, m- manipulating him again, right? And so I could see that being like, okay, well, they figured it out for Denji. We knew that in like chapter two, or one when he meets Makima, right? Of like, oh, okay, he's just totally gonna fall apart to every girl he meets. But like, even when Yoru and Chainsaw are fighting, like I thought it was very odd how she could just go pull Gun Devil and Tank. Just like snap, I have their power because of this hierarchy of
Yeah,
war and guns.
they kind of
I
explained
thought that
that
was
there's actually they actually have children. The devils have children, and Gun and Tank were both part of were both made for war, so they're the war devils' children, and it is weird.
yeah, it was such a random thing because my head goes to okay, war. I could see like because when we were playing the segment of like different devils, what do we think the primal devils are? Oh, by the way, they did do death,
Mm-hmm.
and I hated that. uh, because I remember we talked about it. I didn't want a death devil. I felt like that was too cheesy
And
to
of course
just
they do
go.
it, and they do the famine, they do war. Uh,
Yeah.
one of the uh,
So they had like the
horsemen
four horsemen
of the apocalypse.
of the
Yeah,
apocalypse, right? Yeah. So
I
they
think we only
had
get
they had
that
so control
war.
is another one.
Oh, control. Yes.
Yeah, that's the four because even Nayuta talks about them being sisters, and so they're the four. um, I liked the four horsemen idea. Because I don't know, connection to other things, right? Makes it fun. Of okay, they're bringing this idea. Okay, what are they gonna do with it? And like, there not once was like a like we're the four horsemen. Here's what's gonna happen. Like, it was
Mm-hmm.
like name dropped, and then like nothing happened about that either. And then to go back on the point of war is like the mom. I'm saying this with air quotes because I don't imagine she like gave birth to the gun devil in that way. I think it's more like war is like the first concept, and then underneath that, war can be related to tanks and guns, right? It's usually, especially with timing, like there wasn't a vice versa in this case, right? Uh so my if you go and take that because we talked about this of like, well, what are some other primal devils we could think of, right? And one of them was death. And then it was like, and said this of like, if it's death, death would be above all of them because everything relates to death. It's when daisy chain it to the end, right? And so if that were true, we have with war and we have um, with Gon and Tank, why isn't Death the mother to all of them? And why isn't she able to control anything? And be like, War, you're getting crazy. Snap. Just like War did with her kids. And yeet them out of whatever facility they're in.
I would say that there is a bit of a difference in the ability that they have, and that war can make anything into a weapon. So maybe that has something to do with it. But anything
Yeah.
that she owns, she considers herself that she owns. Which ends up being with some
Yeah.
silly stuff because it's not necessarily that they own it, but they have to think they own it. So there's a scene in
Yeah, that
there
was
where they get like 1,000 yen or something like that, and she buys the aquarium to turn the aquarium into a
yeah.
weapon. It's just like everybody points out, it's like you can't buy an aquarium for $1,000.
And it's not even like a transaction took place, right? She
No,
just like had
I
enough
this is
money in
like
her head to
I
yeah.
sacrificed this 1,000 yen to gain ownership of this aquarium. I
Yeah.
was shocked they did another I'm stuck in a building type thing.
I know. They even brought up the Eternity Devil as like, "Oh, he's back," because that's what they believed it to be. And I I don't know. The whole Death Devil prophecy thing was weird. It was very odd to me because the way that they went about it, because like I am totally okay with death not looking terrifying like darkness, right? I'm totally okay with them being humanoid and everything like that. I the way that it was like portrayed of like it's going to be this big thing and everyone's worried about it when to be like totally brutally honest, part 1 Chainsaw Man, that entire world, who wants to live there? Like Gun Devil is one devil we heard of that's literally obliterating towns by like shooting through them. Like,
I would
and
not
it's
consider
like
Gun Devil to be the most powerful, especially when we
exactly.
nuclear
And he's
weapons towards
one.
the end all of a sudden become a thing again. And it's like, oh, that's my favorite child. All of a sudden,
Yeah,
ugh.
like I don't like
And I find it insane that for the Death Devil that all of a sudden, oh, America, no, the War Devil's like, oh, America's my favorite child, and
yeah.
I would just say they're like, okay, America does have some wars to us, but we are not 100% known for our wars.
Yeah.
We are known for
Yeah.
ending wars more than anything, and that's through some insane means.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why all of a
I
sudden it was wars like, oh, it's America. It's like England has much more wars over the history. What are you
I
talking about?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, going to like going back to the Death Devil, right? There's supposed to be this like it's like it the way they write it made it seem like it's supposed to be this big reveal that death was actually famine the whole time, right? And yeah, when they did that, I'm like, okay. Like there was maybe a couple pages where I was confused when famine really introduced
Yeah,
herself
it's
as
like, oh,
famine.
famine. It's like,
And
what?
I'm like, wait, that's not what famine looks like based on what we were just, introduced on. And then
Yeah.
like the next couple pages they share it and then I'm like, huh, okay. But that like there wasn't like a
Why?
oh my gosh, that's death, the whole time. And there wasn't like any significance to it. There wasn't any like what was death doing before to like really to be a part of it to make that introduction or reveal a big deal. It was like, oh, death was there the whole time, wasn't gonna like fall out of the ceiling like uh darkness did, like nothing. And then I don't know. I felt like that the whole death prophecy thing was like a deflated balloon that they just kind of like expected to like explode out into, blow everyone's mind, but it just kind of it's like I was not ever convinced that this was like a big thing because like I don't know. I didn't like it. But
I didn't
we
like.
did meet some interest I don't know.
I
I'll let you
especially
talk
don't
first.
like that they killed uh, Nayuda. Oh, like, really?
Yes, and the way they did it
Yeah, it was even done off
was
screen. It's like,
awful. Yes.
so I was like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
because she's
Nayuda's
like
dead. That's how they trigger him to go back into his blood. So
the
Black Chainsaw Man is Puchita ends up coming out when he's really stressed or angry or something like that.
yep.
How they get him to do it again is they kill off Nayuda and all the dogs that he had as a family. That's like, really,
Yep.
people. I would have preferred if
Yeah.
they did like a training arc and actually was like, oh, let's get Denji trained up to be able to control that devil or control that form because he ends up controlling it at the end anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I and here's my headcanon on why they did that. Is they had a plan with a whole so fast forwarding to the end. They pretty much hard reset everything with a couple different changes to like give Denji a good ending,
Uh,
right?
so
And
I'm
yeah,
annoyed
go
by the
ahead.
ending for a different reason, but
Same.
I'll put it like this way: they kind of did. They did. It was all a dream without it. It was all a dream.
Yeah.
It was like a step above, maybe slightly above. It was all a dream. And I don't
Yep.
have a huge issue with the ending. They had them do like a reset because I consider a reset being a decent ending, but I don't know.
Here
I feel
here's
very
how
blah about it.
so here's how I think of a series. So like take the Matrix for example. So the Matrix 1 through 3, right? The original trilogy. When that ends, there's no more the one. There's no more, thing going on with Zion over and over again where the Sentinels are all getting used to just whooping the humans, making a deal with the one over and over again, right? Um or something like Naruto where the descendants of whatever the guys were, the kids of Hagoromo, right? And eventually you have Sasuke and Naruto and they break the cycle. That is the big like change that breaks this cycle that keeps happening, right? So Chainsaw Man in my head as I'm reading the entire way through is going to be what is going to break this cycle because we get little tidbits of Chainsaw Man has existed before, death or devils when they die, they go to hell, recircle, oh this whole thing over and over, right?
They don't
So
break
in
it.
my head, yes, exactly. They don't ever break that cycle other than oh Chainsaw is gone. When in my head Chainsaw should have been the thing that flips the script on all the devils and goes and makes peace throughout humanity. That is how I
Separate the
envisioned this
worlds.
to be.
Yeah, if he had like like the separation of worlds, that now they can't keep on going back and forth. Then we could
Yes.
get all the devils in hell, and that'd be the end of it.
And then honestly, you could have Pochita eat himself to be the last connection.
Yes,
And that would be like he
that would
truly
be a
broke the cycle.
satisfying ending. I would like that.
Yeah.
We didn't get a
Yes.
satisfying ending.
No.
We got a. It
I
was all a dream. Yeah. Well,
oh my god. And it wasn't even like because then you go so like we're supposed to be invested in with this world, right? We've read this far. We were interested, right? How does it end? So we know the last volume's coming or chapters coming out. How is it supposed to end, right? there is no there is no like, ah, this is all gone now because Denji did or Pochita did what he did. Yes, okay, war isn't as big a threat and powerful anymore. Okay, the death prophecy thing, you know, is different, I guess. Chainsaw is gone. What about darkness? What about fallen? What about the future? Well, like all of those guys still exist. What about the zombie? Like, yes, okay, sure. They kind of like bring that up, power goes through them, and they change it up with Nayuta instead of Makima. Like, okay, sure. But like, there's still the big threat. Like, there's no warm ending for that world, right? There's still the devils. They don't have Makima to go fight off everyone and make
Makuma's
her.
back somehow at the end of it.
Nayuta was back.
Nayuta. Was it Nayuta or was it Makima? I don't think they ever said,
No,
did
it was
they?
Nayuta.
Okay. Could be wrong.
Yeah, yeah, and we could go double check. Because I was like, oh, is Makima gonna come back in like part one?
They,
Ending didn't really change anything.
yeah, they also didn't
Be-
have. One of the things my friend pointed out to me is that they didn't have. Uh, oh, man, his name.
Aki.
Aki. Yeah, Aki never paired again.
Yes, that's a good point. I was like, yeah, no one else was really shown to be like, oh, they're back. They
They
get a
get
good ending.
power.
Get power, Nayuta, Denji,
Power makes a contract with Denji. Then they get
and then
taken
Asa.
over by Troll.
gets a nod that she's kind of like there because she's at that school. And then,
Oh yeah, it is
yeah,
Nayuta. You're right.
yeah, yeah, because I was worried that, like, they just did what you're talking about, like, oh, it's a dream, like, arguably just rewind the clock, and then Makama's still a threat for all of everything in part one that everyone's worried about. So at least they've resolved that with Nayuta. And Nayuta's back. Like, that was a happy thing, considering the crap that they pulled for her, right? Yeah, I did not like part two at all. It was I wasn't like on the edge of my seat during all the fighting. Like, yeah, War is whooping Chainsaw at one point. Yeah, cool. That was crazy how powerful she got. That's exciting for the fight alone, but like everything leading up to it, what I don't want to. It is. This was not. It just wasn't fun. Like part one. Part one had so much on
Yeah,
the
I think
line
it
of
was
like
much more.
anxiety.
I think
you know.
so. Part one, I think, was much more concise and to the point. It was like, I know what I want. This is the beginning. This is the end, and was able to get to that point really easily.
Yeah.
Then part two, I felt like, oh, we kind of got really far complicated topics here. Just kind of went all over the place and ended up culminating in this battle between Chainsaw and War, and it just
Yeah.
didn't feel like it paid off at the end, because at the end it was just like, oh, Vegeta ends up being himself, and oh, we got a new world that Vegeta never existed in, and I don't know, really weird.
Yeah. And no one is better off other than a handful of characters. Like when you
Mm-hmm.
think about it, in the grand scheme of the entire world, which most of the time the entire series was scaled to like we care about the world, right? With like Makima making her crazy contracts on innocent people's lives for her to keep healing. Um, Gun going and just plowing through cities, and so like the scale is there of like, oh wow, the world is chaotic. Devil hunters need to resolve this, and there's not going to be a break to the cycle. And then we get the key of who could break the cycle. Well, Chainsaw could break the cycle. He could actually literally just delete them, right? Oh my gosh, he's the key. And then they're like, yeah, we'll get rid of that. We're not we're not doing that. We're just gonna get rid of the key
Well,
itself.
I will say that Chainsaw, anything that Chainsaw eats is not necessarily gone. It can
It has
come
to be in his
back.
stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it can come back. Even nuclear, which was fully digested. Nuclear bombs were completely digested. Ended up coming back at the end because America made it again. So
Sure. Yeah,
they
they
can come
reinvented,
back.
rediscovered it. Yeah.
Yeah, they can still
But I
come back in
guess
other means. I don't think chainsaws are completely gone.
no, but I guess the big payoff would have been if they went and broke the connection between hell and the devils to wherever they live, the human world, right?
Yeah, I think that would have been
Uh
a much better payoff than what we got.
yeah, because I felt like for how much was going on in part two in damage that like I felt genuinely there was more devils than there are people alive. Like I it's after a certain point, it's
But
like, what are you
since
fighting for?
yeah, you really can't completely kill them. Yeah,
Yeah, because all these people like are getting wiped like at obscene levels, right? And then but the death prophecy is like, dude, like there's no one around. Like we haven't even had the death prophecy yet, And yeah, War wants everyone to be, immortal for the sake of, war. But
she
like,
wants an endless war.
yeah, exactly. I
And
don't know.
Control wanted
I
to just have a baby under her control.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. I don't think I mean, there's a couple manga that I've never finished to hear what the bad ending is that the internet knows of, but to be a part of Chainsaw Man's, I would just say part two in general. It's like total 180 from part one.
Yeah,
I'm
I was super excited at the end of part one. Then part two, I'm like, well, it definitely started out boring, but I'm like, oh, I'll pick up again. And it's like when it does pick up,
yeah,
it's like this is not the story that makes really much sense. It's just
no.
it's pretty much just saying screw Dingy all through it.
Yeah,
Putting
yeah,
the whole
just
weight on
totally
Dingy because everybody's like, oh, if you do this, you do this. If you do that, you do that. Like, why can't we figure out a solution? Why don't they have solutions that do not involve chainsaw? Yes, he has an amazing power, but we can do better. You guys could have thought of something else in all that time.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they could have done a lot more to give you context of what they've done other than they figured out the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, like you guys are supposed to be very intelligent, you have a lot of resources, you have a lot of devils to make contracts with. You could have done more than that, and not even just in part 2, but they could have been like, we've
We needed
figured out
more of a
this and
hint in
figured out
part
this.
one. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing there. I
yeah,
think if we got the end of part one, I would have been happy with that ending.
yeah,
It wouldn't be completely satisfying, but it would have made me go, okay, Denji's now gonna have a normal life and start helping them. We could put our own conclusion to this instead of what we got,
yeah,
where everything just ended up being a complete mess, where there's no correct answers, and the answers that we got was kind of a bad idea that Denji had
yeah.
no say over, really. And
No.
yeah, it really was just
I
a
think
screw you,
I
Denji.
think the one random thing I liked in part 2 was when they were what was that devil's name? The one where they put him in like his world, and
Oh
Denji's
right,
connection was his stomach. What it wasn't the time devil. It was something like that. It was like it wasn't the future devil. What was his
no, it
name?
wasn't future. He was trying to
Anyway,
get
he
sacrificed to Denji. Oh,
yeah, because he's super messed up and wanted uh aging devil maybe. Um anyway, the whole like when they figure out that Denji's stomach and mouth is connected to the other like the real world and, and so then they are able to kind of fight back and trick him into it. I thought that was pretty clever because that kind of went back to Denji being creative on how he's going to defeat these very interesting enemies because he's not like super witty when it comes to like anything else. But when it comes to fighting, that's what Denji's really good about is figuring out how he's going to win some fight. Where he just immediately starts, uh, taking a weapon from Yoru to go chop these human trees that to go feed Pochita on the other end, Giga Brain.
you're right. It is the aging devil.
Okay, yeah. So I thought that was one cool thing because that goes back to like Denji's like battle prowess, where he's able to like come up with unique,
He
solutions
thinks
to
outside the
things.
box, and it's really interesting.
Yeah,
But we never got that
yeah,
at the end. We didn't get thinking outside the box. We got Chainsaw Man just getting thrown at him.
yeah, yep, yeah. I don't. Yeah, I will say, um, all in all, I would say I like Chainsaw Man if it ended with part one. I'll have to go look
I
at the
still
anime,
think it's
but
okay with part two, but it's definitely a drop in quality.
yeah,
I still be willing to watch it because there's some interesting fights that happens.
yeah, it's always fun to watch the big stuff animated, right? Because then you get the full what they wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely check that out. But yeah, it was just a bummer with all the reviews that we've done, and then to go, all right, we're caught up. What's the rest of the world looking like? Oh my god.
Yeah, like nothing was really solved here. We just
Yeah.
got a weirder. I don't know.
Yeah, just a very out of left field solution was
Mm-hmm.
how they wanted to end it. Yeah, there wasn't some bigger picture, here's what we're going to do for the entire world based on Denji's sacrifices he had to go through. We're just going to pretend none of that happened and he's going to go be with power. which is great. You love Power as a friend. Yeah.
I still would like to see like what happened to Aki alternate world. There's a lot of things I'm
I
just like,
know.
what's different in this world? Because now Aki wouldn't gotten killed, but we wouldn't have to deal with the gun devil as much, would we? Or what would
Right.
happen with what happens with everything else that was going on there? It's just
So much up in
we
the
got
air.
one chapter of this new world, and it's just like a snippet of what it was, and
I would have loved a quick little panel of Aki in his kitchen.
yeah,
And then you're like, "Oh, he's alive." And he's never going to meet Denji. That sucks. But
you know
hey, he's
what?
alive.
The gun magical and rhyme not happen because a lot of things have changed with the chainsaw devil not around. So yeah, he could just be a normal citizen, and Aki never wanted to become a special forces. I think that's
Yeah.
okay. I think that's actually great. I
Yeah,
would
I
have
just
liked to see
wish
that.
some of the right. Some of the big characters like, Shibe, Aki, Himeno, I don't know, even like Beam or the Violent Devil, like anything,
Angel Devil.
any of those.
Like we only get to see
Yeah,
like, three characters at the end
and
of
we know
four
their
because
story is
we do
super.
see um
Yeah,
yeah.
and there's the payoff of Makima gets defeated for their story of, oh, okay, well then you defeated Makima, but like in the whole like let's hard reset everything, getting the like if they just had like a whole montage of all these little snippets of everyone just doing whatever they like doing, that would be super satisfying to be like, well, at least the characters that they,
At least everybody's
showed
having a
us to
happier
grow and love,
life. But
yeah, in
we don't
this
even get
world that
that.
no, yeah, yeah.
It's
Because you
just
can
as
still have the doll
unsaid.
devil
It
come
is
through.
just as un. It's not nice for us to get endings like this, where it's like it was all just a dream, or we just rewrote history or something like that, and not see what happens with
Yeah,
this new world. It's not nice.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Let us know what you think. We could get here, go over and over for days of here's what we would have done. If I don't know. I think we had a pretty good concept of what could have been a good idea just off the top of the head,
Yeah,
brainstorming together. Uh, yeah, and I don't know. I think next we'll probably need to brainstorm what other things we can do to get caught up on, together,
I
to
think we
make
need to
sure we
come up
can
with
keep
our
doing
next
this.
manga. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm almost
yeah,
caught up
let
with
us
One
know.
Piece. You want to read the thousands some odd chapters of One Piece to get caught up with me?
I made the incentive goal for it. I think yeah, I think there's some, newer, faced ones that are out there that a lot of folks are really digging. Like I've been reading Record of Ragnarok. I'm almost like caught up with the entire manga on that. I'll probably catch up in the next week with all the moving. And then other ones, I haven't heard of this, but I'm also very behind on what's out there. Kagurabachi? I,
Other one.
I've heard it is super
Oh,
popular.
that I see it right here. Kaguabachi.
Yeah, I've
Only
heard it
116
is.
chapters.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people are digging it.
Okay.
So that might be one that we can check out because I haven't read any of that. We don't have to do a volume by volume review, but we can go full just like we just did here
Yeah,
and
maybe we would go through and try to figure out like arcs, like doing full arcs, not necessarily
yeah,
volumes.
yeah. I think
I
that's
could
fair.
probably get through an arc within that time. We could also do JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen.
That was another one we both had on our backlog. Yeah.
Uh,
JJK's done, but where is it
it
farther?
ooh.
Because I'd have to start over just to make sure I'm not
Usually
misremembering
it's the
something.
opposite. I wonder why this is 271 episodes. 271 chapters.
Okay.
Probably a bit more than that actually. Starts out with like point zero.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I think I'd
Yeah.
rather do like a newer one. There's definitely some newer stuff out there. Like you said, and
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen's over. So
Yeah, I think we'll figure it out unless someone comments or tells us something that we absolutely have to both go through. We'll go through it. Some of the ones that I had on my personal backlog list that I don't know how
ooh,
new they are, but I know they're super popular is like Kaiju number 8, Witch Hat, Altair, uh Shangri-La Frontier. I know Blade has been going through. And then um
I'll eventually get back to
Freer
that. I went back to Erin
Freerin
at
Beyond
Journey's
Journey.
End. Yes,
Okay, I've heard
that's a
that
really
one's
good
really
one.
good too. Yeah. So those are just a couple that I had on my list that I randomly came up with this past weekend. So, uh, yeah, Blade and I will discuss. If you guys have ideas down below, feel free to let us know. And yeah, I don't have anything else to add, but I do like going through the entire thing here to go, what were you thinking at a much bigger scale than just what we were doing before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe we could also put a poll. We'll put a poll on our YouTube. Blade and I will figure out 4, and then we'll put a poll out for people to vote on and see what that looks like. And we'll go from
So if you're
there.
on YouTube, please like, comment, and
Yeah.
subscribe. So you can actually
Yes.
see that when it
And
comes out. If you're not on
yep.
YouTube, go on YouTube and like, comment, subscribe because we definitely need more.
Yeah.
I'm shilling out. I'm sorry.
Yep. No, you're good. Yeah, so that's what we had. We want to just go crazy on Chainsaw Man now that we're fully caught up with the rest of the world and it's over. Yeah, let us know what you think on it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And we will see you in the next episode.
Yeah, see you guys next time.
See
Bye.
ya.